Hi, everyone. Welcome to this tutorial session. I'd like to introduce a very important tool that will help you in preparing for your final exams. I call it Physics Problem Solver. To access this tool, you would go to this link. This link will be available in the announcement section in Canvas. So easy physics calculator, algebra. Just copy this URL and paste it into your browser if clicking the link doesn't take you to the site. But when you click on this link, it should take you to this page. So this is the home page. Physics Calculator is an interactive educational tool designed to help students solve complex physics problems with ease. So this calculator covers the topics of projectile motion, force, energy, as you can see up here. So right here, you can see home page, kinematics, forces, energy, projectile motion, heat and temperature unit converter. So to access any of those calculators, you just click on the corresponding tab. So right now I'm in the kinematics calculator. So once in a selected calculator, you have the instructions here. You would enter any three known values and then leave the unknown value empty. Then click on calculate to find the missing values or the unknowns. One way to use this could be to go to the book, end of chapter, and get a problem that asks you to find something, enter the values that are given, and then leave the unknown empty, and then just go down and click on calculate. Now, when you enter an invalid combination, the calculator would prompt you to change the values to an acceptable combination. But to the right, you can see sample scenarios. So for instance, a car starting from rest and accelerating at a certain rate for 5 seconds. How would you find the displacement or final velocity? It shows you the steps of the calculation. The second scenario, displacement known, initial velocity known, time known. How do we find the final velocity and the acceleration? Again, you can see the solution steps. There's a third scenario where, the initial and final velocity, and from there, you can find the acceleration, you can find the time, given the displacement as well. The force calculator gives you three options. The first option is the net force. So this calculator allows you to add any number of forces. So let's say I have a force of 70 newtons at an angle of 20 degrees. And you could simply just toggle this, just click on this up arrow to change the value of the angle. So I'll leave this at 25 degrees. Click on add to add a second force. So let's say this is 50 newtons at an angle of 120 degrees. So let's add these two forces. Click on calculate. So here in the calculation window, you can see the step-by-step explanation of each calculation step. So force number one, 70 newtons, direction 25 degrees. first calculate the x component, and you can look up the formula from the book. F cosine of the angle gives you 63.44. Y component, F sine of 25 gives you this. And then do the same for the second force, and then add up the x components to get the net resultant x and y component. And then apply the Pythagorean theorem to find the magnitude of the resultant and the arctangent to find the angle. This is the visual representation. F1 is 70 degrees at 25, 70 newtons at 25 degrees. F2 is 50 newtons at 120, and your net force is at 62.19 degrees, this arrow. So you can play with the calculator. You can add any number of forces. So let's add another force at 10 degrees and another one at 200 degrees. Click on calculate. So it just keeps, increasing the steps. Now, the other scenario for force calculation is the inclined plane. You also have a pulley system. So you can play with this. On the energy, we have gravitational potential energy, where it will ask you to specify the mass and the height. You have elastic potential energy, where it will ask for the spring constant and the displacement. And a kinetic energy, work energy theorem. And then on the projectile motion, you have some required variables that must be provided, like the initial velocity, the launch angle, and the time. And then on the heat and temperature, you have temperature conversion, heat transfer, and the heat of fusion scenarios that you can play with. The temperature conversion simply allows you to specify a certain temperature, and then you can pick the original units and then the conversion units. So 70 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, calculate. It will show you the step-by-step calculation. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, let's say to Kelvin, 70 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. If we click on calculate, it shows us the calculation for conversion from Celsius to Kelvin. We could also go from Fahrenheit, 70 Fahrenheit to Kelvin. And it will also give us step-by-step explanations. And then finally, you have the unit converter, which allows you to convert between any units of length or any units of mass. So you have length, mass, you have volume, density, and then area and velocity. So you can enter any value and then select the from units and then the to units, and then you see the step-by-step explanation of the conversion. So take advantage of this tool as you prepare for the finals. The best approach is to specify values and then attempt the problem on the scratch paper, then click on the calculate and then compare the step-by-step solution to your attempt. And as always, if you have any feedback or you need any follow-up, reach out to me by email. I'll be glad to discuss with you further. Thank you.